This is my top 10 least favorite tracks in Mario Kart 8 slash Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, I was going to base this off of technicality, so tracks that aren't basically good based off of technical aspects, but I just couldn't find 10 tracks that I thought were basically technically no good. So these are my top 10 least favorite tracks that I personally don't like. Keep in mind as well, these are just my opinions. Feel free to comment down in the comment section below your top 10 least favorite tracks in the game. Also, I'm not doing what most people do. I'm not going from 10 being the worst to 10 being my least favorite to 1 being my least favorite. I'm actually going to not do it in any particular order. So just because you see number one does not mean it's my least favorite track in the game. I'm just doing my top 10 overall least favorite tracks in no particular order. Anyway, let's start the video. Let's go! At number 10, we have Ice Outpost. I don't really hate the track, but I don't love the track either. I think I don't like the track more than I love the track. It's just something about how we're racing on two different platforms and we're racing in the ice and snow. I actually don't mind ice and snow levels, but I think it's the fact that we're not racing in the ice and snow. We're racing on platforms in the ice or snow. Just doesn't cut it for me. I wish that if they were going to make a new ice or snow level or a winter theme level, I wish they would have made it to where we were actually driving on ice or driving on snow, just like your typical ice or snow level. But what I will say about the track, I will say I actually do like the design of the track. I actually think that it works well in Mario Kart 8, and it really shows off how Mario Kart 8 design works well in the game. But overall, I just don't like Ice Outpost too much. At number 9, we have Grumble Volcano. No matter how you look at this track, I really don't like this track. There's no saving this track for me. I don't like tracks that are all one color. Not to say that doesn't work, but in this case, it does not work. Especially since they're dark colors. I don't like the color scheme of this map at all. I don't like fire spewing out of a volcano. Well, I actually do, but I don't like it in this form. I don't like the fact also that parts of the track are actually crumbling every lap you race it. More the track keeps crumbling and crumbling, and the music in this track for me is just not good at all. So whether it's on the original Wii or whether it's on Mario Kart 8, I just do not like Grumble Volcano. At number 8, we have N64 Rainbow Road. Now, I actually really do love the original N64 Rainbow Road a lot. If you didn't know, it's actually the biggest track in Mario Kart history. Like, it's the longest one to race on. I remember in the N64 one, when you race on it, it feels like you're racing on the track for an eternity. And just a little thing to take note to as well. You may not be aware, but in the original Mario Kart 64, you could actually do a little glitch for the Rainbow Road in that game, which was awesome. They did take it out of this one, if you didn't know. But the reason I do not like it is because of what I just said. I don't like it because it is now the shortest track in the game. Why would it go from the longest track in the game to the shortest track in the game? It doesn't make sense. But I will say I do love the track. It is flat out gorgeous. I love the train. I just love everything about it, and the fact that you can see the city down below. We don't know. It's just an amazing track. I just wish the track was longer. Since it's not a long track, since it's the shortest track in the game now, that's the reason I do not love N64 Rainbow Road. At number 7, we have Cheese Land. Now, if you never played the original Game Boy Advance Mario Kart Super Circuit, then that's where it came from. It actually got a pretty big overhaul when it came to 8. But the reason I do not like Cheese Land, now I also don't know how many people like Cheese Land, because I feel like a lot of people don't like Cheese Land. I keep hearing people saying Cheese Land is not a good track, but I may be in the minority on that. But the reason I do not like Cheese Land is because, first off, it does not remind me of cheese. It reminds me of the desert, and I just do not like desert tracks, and I just do not like that theme. Yes, if you pay attention, you can see that there's cheese around, and actually at one part of the track, you can see that there's cheese pizza in the background, but I actually also don't like the layout of the track. I just don't like that. There's too many turns. It's just too small, too compact. I just don't like the chain chomps on the track. I really just do not like this track. But I will say I do like the fact that there's pizza in the background in some parts of the track, and the fact that there's actually a cheese shortcut in the track. I actually like that as well. I think that's a cool aspect. But overall, I just do not like the theme of Cheese Land at all. At number 6, we have Sherbert Land. Now, yes, I am in the minority when it comes to Sherbert Land. I actually do like Sherbert Land as a snow and ice track, but I will admit one thing. I don't think it's a good track compared to the rest of the snow and ice levels we've had in Mario Kart games. If there was one thing about this track, I wish they would actually remove it from Mario Kart 8. I just think the track is too wide. The underwater parts are no fun. I just don't find it a fun track to drive on compared to other ice and snow level themed tracks. But I will say that it does have great music. I think it might be my favorite soundtrack in a Mario Kart track to date. Also, I love the fireworks and I love the snow coming down. But one thing that really does puzzle me, I don't know why Nintendo took out the ice effects when you hit into the ice cubes in this version of Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't know why, because they easily could have kept them from the GameCube version. The GameCube version actually has that going over it compared to this version of Sherbert Land. But anyway, that's why I don't love Sherbert Land. At number 5, we have Music Park. I just don't like the theme of this park. Actually, I think a music-based track would be great, but I don't like it in this form. I especially don't like the soundtrack to this track. I also don't like the fact that they just ripped it out of Mario Kart 7. They didn't actually add anything new to the track. Like, you would think that anti-gravity would be in here, or they would at least change the track in some form, but no, it's exactly the same track that we played in Mario Kart 7 time and time again. I don't like the fact that we're also driving on piano keys and xylophones. I just don't like the sound. Overall, I'm just not a big fan of Music Park altogether. And the one thing that really annoys me about this track a lot as well is I don't like the music notes at the end bouncing around. They're just really frustrating and they're annoying to me, and I don't like them at all. At number 4, we have Dry Desert. Now, I'm just not a fan of desert stages in any video game, not just the Mario Kart series. So obviously, I'm not going to like this stage. I just don't like the fact that it is one color scheme. It is a brownish color, and I'm not a fan of it. I also really don't like the music of this stage. It sounds kind of Egyptian and everything. I'm just really not a fan of it. But at least one thing this deserty stage has going for it, which a lot of other ones don't have going for it, is that the underwater section kind of saves it for me. But for the most part, I am not a fan of this stage. Now, don't get me wrong, Mario Kart does have some good desert stages in the franchise, but this one just does not cut it for me. So Dry Desert is one of those stages I just do not like. At number 3, we have Bone Dry Dunes. Now, I'm not going to go into why I don't like this stage. I already talked about it, talking about Dry Desert. But I will say there are some saving graces with this track. For instance, when you go at the end of the track, when you go into Dry Bowser's Mouth, I actually think that's very, very cool. Also, the fact that there is a ship on the side with toads in it that's throwing out coins around the track, I actually like that as well. But overall, I'm just not too big of a fan of Bone Dry Dunes. At number 2, we have Rainbow Road. Now, I actually don't mind this track too much, but the reason I don't like this track is because, think about it this way, Mario Kart 8 is a game about underwater, hang gliding, and anti-gravity, and I wish Nintendo would have taken it to the next level when it came to the Rainbow Road. Speaking of Rainbow Road, if you didn't know, I actually love astronomy a lot, so you would think I love this level, but I just think for a game that has a concept of anti-gravity, underwater, and gliding, this thing could have been an amazing track. The fact that it only has anti-gravity and it has gliding sections, where are the water sections for this track? They could have went crazy with this track, considering how much stuff they've added to Mario Kart 8 exclusively. I wish that was the case with this track, but no, we do just get a plain, very boring Rainbow Road out of this game. I will say that there are also some other Mario Kart games that they've done a better job with the Rainbow Road. It really feels like you're on Rainbow Road, but with this one, you really don't feel like you're on Rainbow Road. But I do like the fact that you're actually going around a space station. I really think it's cool, but I just wish Nintendo would have done more with this track. At number 1, we have Toad's Turnpike, and actually it was very hard for me to decide if I wanted Toad's Turnpike or if I wanted Dragon Driftway, because I actually don't like both of those tracks, but I decided to go with Toad's Turnpike. Now, I actually really do love the original Toad's Turnpike on N64, but for some reason Nintendo decided to make Toad's Turnpike much more wider than the original game. Now, I also can't remember if Mario Kart 64 had less drivers on the track. Maybe it had less drivers on the track. I can't remember if you drove with 12 players on the track or if you raced with 8 players on the track. I do apologize. I wish I could remember, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I just think the track is very, very easy. I think it's too wide. I just don't like it. If they made it much more narrower instead of wide, I would absolutely love this track. And what's going on in mirror mode? Why are the cars still driving the same way in mirror mode? If you ever played Toad's Turnpike on the N64, you will know that in mirror mode, they actually drive towards you. What is that, Nintendo? Come on, give us the real Toad's Turnpike in Mario Kart 8, and I will be very, very happy. Anyway, guys, those are my top 10 least favorite tracks in Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.